Today I went and downloaded some free plugins from Baby Audio. We are back on kind of the mobile road setup here, up in the mountains, getting away from the terrible air quality that's going on down in the valley because of the LA fires. Baby Audio, they have like 5 plugins you can go and get for free. Most of them are small, kind of trimmed down versions of their paid plugins, but I want to see how much we can kind of get done with just the base plugins here. And I made this little sound. This is what it sounds like. That's kind of the core of it. If I turn off all the plugins I've got on top of it, the base Serum patch looks like this. Well, and to be clear, first off, I think this is what the MIDI looks like here. We've got what is basically in the key of this is B flat. We have a 4/9 chord here, a 4 add 9 that then goes kind of momentarily to kind of like, it looks like a 3 that I don't know if I would really call these chord tones. These are just kind of like more like, because the 3 is kind of just like a motion, like a lower neighbor motion sort of thing that goes back to the 4/9 and then goes to just like a 1 power, and then this I would call like a 5/6/4 into a 1/6, and then it kind of implies this is kind of like a 6 in third version because we have the 7th in the bass technically, but the motion kind of works there. It's a cool little progression. Just wrote that in and then was like, okay, let's build a sound to play this progression here. And so the sound we built in Serum sounds like this. I like the sound a lot. I'm actually, while I'm here, just do that. Take away that little snap that happens at the beginning of that one there. This LFO here, first off, it's kind of a sawed up square or sine wave here, so just the 2 first partials added in there to kind of take it from being pure sine wave and just being 1 to kind of add in some extra partials there. The whole sound kind of starts high, quick attack, and then fades down a little bit. And then also we have this oscillator B, 16 voices of pretty tightly tuned saw waves, and this filter over here is only affecting the B oscillator here. So this sound really is only coming through when this shape goes off, which is this doom, wow, da, da, wow kind of shape. As you can see that this thing is attached to the, show me all the things you're attached to here, thank you. The filter cutoff over there, the reverb's wet dry knob, and then the phaser depth. So over here in the effects, we have a phaser, we have a reverb, we have a compressor. So this knob and that knob, and it creates the reverb. It just kind of like changes the space it's in a little bit. If I turn it off. Some people might say that that's better. I like it. Like the reverb here isn't acting as an actual really like it's not putting the space in a room. It is just kind of a sonic effect. Just changes the space of those notes that are affected by this LFO. And then the phaser, if I turn off this and turn off the phaser. That wheel sort of sound it's given there. Those 2 things combined there. So that's the basis of our sound. I don't think there's anything else complicated happening here. But so then we put this Magic Dice plugin on here. Now this one is a sensitive plugin because it literally has 1 button. If I press this button here in the middle, it changes the settings of this reverb plugin. The Magic Dice is a reverb, and it has just a mix slider down here. But when I was reading the patch notes of Magic Dice, it appears to be like you press the button, it changes the settings. You should basically never get the same reverb setting twice, and I like the one I found, so I'm scared to press it. To show you how it works, I'll just put a second instance of it on here. You can hear this one kind of, it's somewhere between a reverb and a delay there if I press the button. Very different sound. We can turn the mix up here. Cool effect though. Interesting. It's got some like almost like some like notches on some frequencies at the top there, or some peaks. Free plugin, by the way. Lots of creativity there, and this plugin is distinctly kind of a musical plugin. It's not a you don't get to think about what's happening. You just have to press the button and listen. Press the button, listen. I like that sound. Let's leave it. So I found this guy. This is the setting that I found that I liked. This it kind of on like almost like a 16th delay. And like it creates this. I just added a nice little texture in there, so left that one on, put some OTT on top of it, an actual compressor. Then we get to the second of the 5 plugins that I did end up using. I tested them all out here, but this is the one I actually really liked on the sound. This is just pitch drift. This gives us a really nice kind of lo-fi sort of vibe here. So this one I can move around because this one's not a randomizer. But you see that line moving? It's moving the pitch. If I You get the idea. It's a pretty self-explanatory once you kind of like touch it. The 2 controls that you can touch here, it's pretty simple. So I had it at 10 here, just a little bit of wobble. The one thing I think that's really cool, I think automating this could be really effective. You could go in and like automate specific changes there you wanted by automating that little slider. When you speed it up, or when you kind of increase the amount, the pitch dips, and when you decrease the amount, the pitch goes up for a moment. So cool effect here. This is the settings I had it on. Very subtle. It mainly helps those drones. In the MIDI here, I have these 2 notes happening the whole time. I have this one rearticulate here because I kind of want it to be, I want to emphasize this dun dun motion, and remember every pitch kind of goes dun, kind of dies out. So this note has kind of died out a little bit by the time it gets to here, so I want it to rearticulate here. But really these 2 notes just go the whole time. So that pitch drift really helps kind of bring those 2 notes, give them some motion there. The other notes you don't notice it as much, but those 2, because they just sit there so long and hammer your ear, I think it's a really, really useful effect. This last one I have turned off, but this is one of the ones they get. This is from Transit 2. They didn't pay me to plug this at all, but Andrew Huang built this effect, Transit 2. I really do want this effect, but I'm really trying to not spend more on plugins, and I think I can do all the things that Transit 2 does by learning how to actually like make those effects happen. But it's a really, really cool, effective tool. And this little warp guy, this is the thing I've watched Bishu do in Ableton on his beat battles. So like finish his project, and then he'll put this on it. Or not he won't put this on it, but he'll like warp it in Ableton and like, oh, let's see what it sounds like sped up and shorter. Let's see what it sounds like slowed down. And now you can do that really easily with this. You just put this on. If you're not someone who knows how to do that locally in your DAW, this speed and stretch literally do the things that stretch is maybe not quite. I don't know if that quite works here, but here, listen. If I speed it up, well, let me turn the plugin on. That's pretty. Like, what a cool way to manipulate things, right? And you could obviously automate this to move. The stretch here, I haven't put this on an audio effect. I'm pretty sure stretch really just kind of works on audio. I think with it being MIDI, it's probably going to struggle to do that. At the end of the video, I'm going to go open up a new session, pull in some of the projects I've worked on, and just put warp on it. So if you want to kind of hear how it affects an entire master, how good of a job it does it, like slowing it down and speeding it up, I'll put that on there. But yeah, I made this sound, put these effects on there. There's a few other ones that I haven't. I tried, but didn't really make any sense in the effects I was doing. There's this Beat Slammer, which is like a drum compressor. So I'm excited to try that on some of my drums moving forward. There's also Magic Switch, which I did try. Ultimately, kind of was steered away from. It's kind of like a chorus effect here. Oh, let's turn off the warp there, and then. Which I thought about on these. That'd be kind of a cool little addition, but it was fine. It didn't feel like it really needed it there. So yeah, that's all I made today. I then turned it into kind of this, adding a bass in. pretty. I would definitely put vocals over the top of this. And make some little pop song out of it. It's a little hi-hat I made in Serum. The one other cool thing I did do on this hi-hat guy was use a transient shaper the other way. So this is just one long note that's just manipulating this this noise that I'm then having the level be automated by this guy, which gives us this. And then this LFO is moving the pan and the pitch, just to give us a little bit of variation there. Nothing else is operating here. I could turn off this oscillator A, but it was a little bit sharp, especially when I put the compressor on there to kind of like bring the volume levels a little bit more into place there. Used Pro Q to take out just kind of like bass little like pops that were happening, and then the transient shaper I actually used the other way around. Usually transient shapers, you're trying to make the transient kind of stand out, and you're kind of pushing down the sound. And Kiloheart's transient shaper here though does give you the option to turn down the transient if you want to. So if I turn this up, here it's a lot sharper. It's much more subtle, and it was exactly as I was listening. I was like, man, this just sounds kind of like harsh. I'm just hearing like you listen to like in the full mix here. It's even with it being pretty low in volume. I was just like, this is just standing out too much. You put this on, into the background there. So pretty cool. I was really proud of myself to like think of that solution, you know, like, oh, I want this to be a little bit sharper or less sharp. Oh, let's put a transient shaper on the other way around. What a cool thing. Okay, let's go pull up some of my projects I've rendered so far this year and put warp on it, see what it sounds like. Let's start with Boyhood. Let's see what Stretch does. Oh, let's also turn off the metronome. Interesting, so Stretch seems to move the pitch, but only if we actually have the speed. Sound like over here. Now, okay, so Stretch, if it's set to 50, keeps your pitch the same as you move it around, otherwise speed moves the pitch here. Let's see if you put it all the way up. Interesting, it moves the pitch down. So you can have the pitch speed. This is speeding it up and pitching it down, which usually, if you speed things up, the pitch goes up. So this is a... Interesting, and the bass drum's just getting completely massacred there. Let's turn this off and just see kind of how it handles with being able to speed it up. It is interesting, it has to kind of like buffer. It has to bank something. So at first you'll hear it kind of like do like the loop, and then it plays like through like normal. So there, it banked. Banked again. It's not handling that very well. Let's see if I turn it back. Let's turn it like negative here. Interesting, it's kind of creating almost like a slap back there on the kick, which I will say, if I turn this off, the kick... For whatever I did with the kick there, it has almost kind of been like almost like a double transient on that. It was one of the things I didn't like about this track, and I just didn't take the time to go back and fix the... let's try something else. Let's see, how does this sound? Whew! That's really pretty. Just down like kind of a step there. Let's see if we can put it like up a step or up a tenth, whatever that is. As jump back, right? Yeah. Huh. Oh, that's kind of fun. For specific sample manipulation, I think this is going to be really good. But it's kind of fun to like hear what it sounds like with whole things. So let's see what this guy, you remember this guy? That's cool. All right. Okay. Let's see if we go and slow it down. Let's slow it down a lot here. Putting the sub below something even that these headphones can handle. I am curious with this guy. What does that sound like? Slowed down a bit. Put the sub down to like 23 hertz. Kind of funny. Oh, this is only sped up. It keeps having a buffer. I don't know. So the speeding up thing's interesting. The slowing down is really cool. I think the slowing down is probably what I would use it for more often, or for doing kind of like a warp-in sort of sound where you like start the track and then do like, you know, like a... Like, that's pretty cool, like a cool way to start a track, right? So it makes it just like an easy one knob thing to do. So, and you could put this on your stereo out and have it like put that automation on the stereo out there, and then it's like literally bypass the plugin after that, so it's not part of your stereo chain. Pretty cool thing. All right, that's all we have time for today, though. Again, you can get those plugins for free at Baby Audio. I'll put the link down below. Really easy. You don't even have to sign up for their newsletter, but you literally just type in your email address. They send you the link. You hit a confirm. They send you another email that's got the link to the stuff. You've now signed up for their newsletter, but you don't have to make an account. So kind of easy stuff there. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.